Well, this was a moment of history. It happened earlier today in France, and a major controversy, too, has now erupted out of Paris. An Algerian boxer shown in the red uniform who failed a gender eligibility test last year has now won an opening fight after only 46 seconds. Her opponent breaking down in tears, calling it, quote, unjust. Greg Palcott picks it up from London with more on what happened in the ring. Greg.
Hey, Bill. Yeah, big controversy indeed at the Olympics. A boxer deemed a biological male beating an Italian female opponent, with the Italian crying out, "I couldn't take it anymore." Despite failing that gender test by the International Boxing Association and being banned from an international tournament last year, Algerian 25-year-old Iman Khalif was okayed by Olympic authorities to compete. And apparently today it was a very one-sided fight, with Italian Angela Carini, also 25. After just 46 seconds and several sharp punches to the head, including the nose by Khalif, Carini abandoned the fight. Threw her helmet.
What did y'all think was going to happen once y'all opened up the bottle and the genie came out and you didn't like what you wished for, which this was always going to be the case? First of all, let's start with the Paris Olympics itself. They are really a liberal organization that is profiting off of the fact that people want to continue to do the wrong thing, and they pick the wrong thing. It started off with the opening ceremony. They have no respect for God, Christians, Jesus, order, and chaos is now being disguised as inclusiveness, right? And so when we start to take that into consideration, I really don't feel sorry for anything that's happening in the Olympics. And as a matter of fact, I decided not to even watch the Olympics personally because it does not align with my core values. I don't think that I should be giving them my visibility and obviously my advertising dollars as a result of eyeballs that they can then leverage. Most people don't care, and so that's why they're going to continue to do what they want to do, because they don't have to be accountable for their actions. But then now we have this, right? And this is something that we've been arguing about and debating about in the United States of America abroad, because largely you have people that are traditionally conservative, meaning that they have a core foundation and principles that they usually stand on. Of course, you can go in and out of it and you see extreme versions of it or more liberal versions of it or tolerant versions of it. But by and large, most people tend to have conservative values that they then allow other people to influence them to start thinking a little bit differently. Now, what we see happening with the Paris Olympics is that this is not just an American problem. This is a problem that's basically happening worldwide. And we're getting so far away from genuinely understanding even the fundamentals of what a man and what a woman is, to where a person that didn't pass before now can then declare themselves after a period of time to be a woman, and they go into the most violent sport in the Olympics, and then they mollywop and beat the dog out of you, and then you don't have no choice but to just resign and give up. And so, you know, I'm largely on the fence of let them have themselves. Why should I advocate for and protest against something when this is what y'all wanted, this is what y'all voted for, this is the bottle that you opened, and then you can't say, well, I didn't want this part of it. No, when you get one thing, you get all of it. You take the good with the bad, and that's what comes with it.
Helmet to the floor, stormed off the boxing ring, and in fact went on to say that she had never felt such strong blows in a contest before. Now, Algerian Khalif has competed for several years in other international tournaments, including the Olympics, but was banned last year due to, according to officials, elevated levels of testosterone. Algerian sports.
No. Y'all wanted to compete. You said that you was on the same level. You said equal everything. I said we not equal. I said that there's some things that men can get away with that just should be the way that it is, and there's some things that women should be able to do that's just the way that it is, and we should leave them separate, right? I see value in both, but we should leave them separate. Don't walk away from it now. Take these blows.
Officials have called the charges against Khalif baseless, but others have raised concerns about the health of opposing athletes when, according to one, a man fights a woman. And Khalif is not the only one getting attention. Taiwan boxer Lin Yu-ting is competing in the Olympics, including a fight tomorrow, and has also been deemed a biological male, according to the International Boxing Association. In a statement, the IBA said in part, this test conclusively indicated that both athletes did not meet necessary eligibility criteria and were found to have competitive advantages over other female competitors. One more quote from the defeated Italian: boxing is a sport that teaches you to have respect for the opponent. It cannot and must not become an abuse.
Nope.
Back to you, Bill.
What a story. I think it's quite a moment in this whole campaign, whether it's here or overseas. Greg, thank you for that in London. We got more on this now, Dana.
Want to bring in Claressa Shields. He's a professional boxer and a two-time
shout
Olympic.
out to Claressa Shields. She was just here at Little Caesars Arena. I usually go to her fights. I went to the one last year. I didn't get a chance to go this year because we wound up having to meet up in Houston. But shout out to Claressa Shields. I'm curious. I didn't know that she was going to be showing up to this. I am absolutely positively curious as to what she's going to say about this.
Gold medalist. It's great to have you. And her necklace there says, "Quote was the greatest woman of all time." It is really good to have you here. You've competed in 2 Olympics. This, you told us in the break, was not an issue when you were in the Olympics. And there's the medals. What do you think about all of this?
Well, my first Olympics, I was 17 years old. So I hadn't even fully developed as a woman. So I couldn't imagine getting inside the ring with the biological men. I mean, even though I spar against the men, but fighting for the Olympics is way bigger than that. It's so much more on the line. So to have to go in there with the opposite gender when, look, women fight against women, men fight against men. So I don't even see how the Olympics done something like this.
You know, I watched this video earlier today, Claressa. Have you seen it?
I was curious because I know that at some point she actually challenged somebody to an exhibition match. I forgot who it was that she challenged. But I'm relieved to see that she's on the side of righteousness and right when it comes to being able to separate the genders, and you can't have men going into women's sports and vice versa. Women shouldn't be trying to get into men's sports.
For the Italian boxer saying, "I'm out." Have you seen the video yet?
I've seen it.
I mean, she really looked scared to me. What did you think?
You know, I grew up in a gym sparring against a lot of guys and stuff, but every fighter, woman fighter, does not do that. So, so the power to her did seem like it was much bigger and much stronger, and it did scare her, you know. And I don't know how old she is, but it's still like when you're born a man, you're already born with the bigger muscles and a bigger neck, and you've grown up to be a man. You know, you didn't change genders when you was a kid, so it's, to me, it's just unfair, and I just can't believe that it's being done, and I just couldn't imagine it happening to me.
There's not that many women who are willing to stand up and say this is wrong. And you know, I admire you for doing so. Do you think the Olympics will have a change of heart here? I mean, if you see her, that young woman from Italy, she worked just as hard as anybody else to get to the Olympics, and her dream was dashed in 46 seconds because of him.
Dang, that's true.
It is very hard to qualify for the Olympics. You have to go through so many different international tournaments, country tournaments to even make it to the Olympics. So for me, I can understand her devastation, but it shouldn't be ruined due to a man. And I think that the Olympics definitely dropped the ball, you know. And listen, I don't have anything against transgender women or transgender men. All I'm saying is that men should fight against men, women should fight against women, and transgenders should fight against transgenders.
That's the problem right there. That is the problem right there. Is that the minute that you start to try to justify it, you can't then stop them from saying, well, what if? Or why can't I do this? And why can't I do this? Well, if I'm okay with doing this, so you saying that it's okay for you to identify as this, but I can't actually participate in what you got going on. And so I just think that it's absolutely, positively off. But when you have people that are willing to compromise, then this is what you get. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. We got Stock Club on Sunday. Also, I'd love for you guys to make sure you tap into Teach Henley. Teach Henley is a sponsor of what we got going on this platform. 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. It's a phenomenal product. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all got to say. Also, tap in on After Hours tonight. It's going to be popping.